You know, the creative business looks pretty easy until you're the one wearing every single hat. You are the planner, you are the content creator, you're the business coach, you're the social media manager, you are the customer service person, you are the admin person, and let's not forget, you may also be a mom, a wife, a friend. It's a lot. It's a whole lot. Hey friend, welcome to day 14 of 20 days of Event Pro Real Talk. This is the series where I pull back the curtain on what it really looks like to build a business, especially in the events and creative space. Now, this is not just the highlight reel, this is the real, the actual real. And today, we're talking about the heavy unspoken part of it all, the emotional weight of doing too much all by yourself. Now, let's talk about the reality of having to wear all of these hats. Now, there's something that most people don't realize about entrepreneurship, especially in our event space. We are not just running a business. No, we are the ones running every single department inside that business. As a personal brand owner, as a service business, like we always say, you are the face of the business. So you kind of are doing everything, especially as a solopreneur, until hopefully you're able to get people to work with you. But until then, you are mostly doing everything. You are the CEO making all the decisions. You are the admin person sending the emails. You are the sales team answering DMs here and there. You are the graphic designer creating your flyers, creating your designs. You are the coach showing up on Zoom. You are the social media strategist writing captions and hashtags. You are the event planner managing vendors and guests and all of those things. Now, this is not even an exaggeration. The truth is, you can love what you do, but still feel completely burnt out. It is very, very important that we need to prioritize rest. We need to prioritize taking care of ourselves. We need to prioritize being the forefront, in self-care, right? Because you are the face of your brand. If you look weary, your brand is going to look weary, right? So if you come out strong, your brand is going to come out strong. And that's if you've taken care of yourself behind the scenes. That's why you can come out strong, right? Now, let me take you back to one week, one of the hardest weeks that I've had, that's kind of was a lot. In 1 week, that week, it was a good week. Of course, it's something that we pray for, that we want. We want jobs anyways. We want jobs, right? But not at the expense of your life, your peace, Because again, we started a business not to die in the process, right? Now, that week, I had 2 major events to plan. And then I also had 3 coaching clients booked for strategy calls. And then, of course, I have to do my Instagram content, to batch and schedule. And then I had emails that I needed to respond to from my potential clients. Again, I still had my own home to manage, of course, right? As a mom and a wife. I had my own home to manage. I had my children to work out. I need to figure out their school and all of those things. And at the end of that week, I realized that my children were literally eating store-bought pancakes and waffles for 2 straight days. And it got me thinking, I'm like, what the heck? What is this? What's all this? I was running on fumes that week. I didn't tell anybody because I felt like, oh, this is what I signed up for, right? This is it. That is absolutely wrong. Now, what I signed up for was freedom. What I signed up for was wealth. What I signed up for was peace, not a prison cell, not death, not this kind of life. That's not how you run a business. Let's talk about the signs of quiet burnout. Now, most times, many people feel like burnout is something that you can visibly see. Oh, you're burning out, the fire is coming out of your hair. That's literally burnout. No, burnout doesn't always look like you're literally falling apart. Burnout sometimes looks like you're doing the bare minimum, but you're still feeling guilty. Oh, you're not doing enough. You're feeling guilty about the little things you're doing, the small things you're doing. Burnout could also mean that you're posting content, but you're resenting every single moment of it. Burnout could also mean that you're feeling exhausted after every single client call you have. You are like, who sent me this? What is this? What am I? That is a sign of burnout. Burnout could also mean that you're looking successful. When you come outside, you're looking all glamorous and successful, but secretly, you're dreading to do every single task. You're dreading to carry camera and do your own videos. You're dreading to talk about, to say, God, what am I going to say again today? What am I going to, you're so worried, your mind, anytime it's time to probably do something about your heart is pumping. Bro, what are you doing? Burnout could also mean not celebrating the little wins because your brain have already moved to the next to do. There's something about, us very, very enthusiastic people, people who want to, of course, who want to make it, who want to be successful. We are always on the go, right? And because of that, we kind of neglect how to celebrate the little wins. For example, I've been in that position where, something happened and of course I would just, thank you, Jesus, and that's it. I'm done. I'm moving on to the next idea, the next strategy. We are not celebrating those little wins because your brain has already moved on to the next. What's the next one? What's the next one? Let's go, let's move. That's a burnout. Does it sound familiar to you? I'm sure it should. Now, let's talk about how to stop this spiral. I'm going to give you 3 things that helped me stop spiraling back and forth. One thing that I did to stop spiraling was I prioritized by roles and not just tasks. I prioritized my work by what I was going to do, by the role I was going to play, not just the task. What do I mean? So instead of listing out 20 random things every day to say, this is what I want to do this week, or this is what I want to do today, I rather organize my week based on my roles. For example, Monday, I would say for Monday, I'm in the coaching mode. So everything related to coaching, anything that I have to do related to coaching, calls, Zoom calls, emails related to coaching, I do that day. Then Tuesday, I would say creator mode. Tuesdays are the days that I shoot my videos, I batch them, I schedule them, I edit as much as possible. Everything related to creator mode that Tuesday. Then Wednesday, I could say, okay, I'm in planner mode. Wednesdays, I reply to my DMs. Wednesdays, I send out emails. I send out bulk emails to my clients or to people that have done their events, or, I check on my vendors. Wednesdays, planner mode, right? So this structure, it helps me mentally prepare for whatever is going to come. It helps me also know that, okay, whatever I'm doing, it sticks to schedule. Now, next thing that I also do is I set boundaries with my own ambition. So many times you want to achieve so much, you want to be so much, we want so much, but it's not very realistic. So I try to set boundaries with my own ambition. What can we do at this particular time? Give yourself 2-3 months. What can you achieve? Work within that timeline. If not, it's going to be so overwhelming, and then you find yourself everywhere. Sometimes, previously I used to overbook because I thought, if I don't book out my calendar, it means I'm lazy. Now what I do, I book out 1 day CEO day per week, right? That CEO day is my day of rest. No clients, no calls. It could just be planning and rest, right? So it's up to you what works for you. Sit down and figure out what works for you. If you want to be successful in business, these are the tiny people. So you might say, really? Those things don't really make, those little things makes a difference. Tiny, but does make a difference. Then another thing I do is I use systems that make my brain to breathe. Now, in these days of AI, there's so many AI tools that can be used, that can be automated, right? There's so many systems that can help you run your business without you having to be there in person. So if you have to automate all of those systems, like the emailing, the batch creating contents, the email response, the DM responses, if you have to automate all of those processes so you can focus on the brain box of being your own business owner, of being your own CEO. Perfect. That's what I do. The reason most of us are overwhelmed is not just because of the work. It's just because we are disorganized, right? I started using planning templates, content boards and client onboarding checklists, and it has changed everything. I use automation tools to make things easy for me, to put things in place while I focus on the main things on my business. Let me be real. I built the E.L.I.T.E Toolkit because I was literally drowning. I couldn't keep all the tasks in my head. Inside of it, it has weekly planners, it has task breakdown sheets, it has content idea boards, it has client workflow systems, and it also has checklists for everything from events to coaching calls and all of that. It's not just a digital file. It's how I finally got some sanity back. So if you're juggling everything and it's starting to cost you your joy, you're starting to cost you your creativity or your health, please hear me. You are allowed to slow down. You are allowed to ask for help. You are allowed to build smarter, not just harder. Please. Well, subscribe for more of these honest conversations. And of course, if you're feeling the pressure to do it all, do click the link in the description and grab our E.L.I.T.E Toolkit. It is my most helpful resource for creatives and planners that of course want to stay organized without burning out. Okay? I'll see you tomorrow for day 15. You're doing better than you think. Know that. Okay? See ya.